The American public is increasingly demanding answers about Donald Trump's health. There have been weeks, really months of this viral speculation because Donald Trump's swollen ankles and bruised hands and subsequently made up bruised hands to cover the bruising with makeup have led to the White House saying, fine, something's going on with Donald Trump. And what it is simply chronic venous insufficiency. It's common, it's harmless, it's benign, it's typical in a guy of Trump's age. But the problem is that that answer has now only fueled even more questions. And thousands of people have now signed a petition demanding that Donald Trump finally release the full damn medical record, include a full cognitive evaluation, include a neurological evaluation, something that has been done for a very long time with presidents. Trump's almost 80. He's obese. He doesn't look good. The stakes are high. He's got the nuclear codes. That's what should be done. Now, before we get into the sort of text and the details of the petition, listen, I am not an unreasonable man. I think that the idea of simply diagnosing stuff from pictures of Trump is not scientifically or medically rigorous. And there are medical influencers I know personally who have made videos over the last couple of weeks, and they've said, listen, chronic venous insufficiency isn't very serious. It is benign. And we really can't diagnose Donald Trump just from pictures, all of which I agree with. The problem is that you can't abstract the details of this from the environment into which we are told months after very strange things started being noticed on Trump, that it's merely chronic venous insufficiency. Part of the reason that we struggle to accept that that's the truth is because there's a decade of dishonesty about Donald Trump's health. Okay, maybe there's at least 6 years of dishonesty about Donald Trump's health. The propaganda documents about Trump being so healthy, an original propaganda letter from Trump's doctor, who subsequently died, where Trump reportedly just had him sign something that Trump and his people had put together. Trump during COVID, when we were told it's because he's the president that he's going to Walter Reed in a helicopter, totally routine. But then later we learned actually doctors were worried his condition was deteriorating. If it got worse, he would have to be taken there on a stretcher and that would look bad. That was the real reason he went, but that's not what we were told. Trump appearing to have required oxygen during COVID, but when doctors were asked about it, they said Trump is not on oxygen, present tense. Another way to avoid saying he was on oxygen. So that's number one. There's a history of lack of transparency. Secondly, the chronic venous insufficiency story doesn't explain the bruised hands. And Caroline Levitt has explained away the bruised hands by saying he's just shaking hands with so many people because he's doing such great work for the American public. It's not all sounding believable. So can we accurately diagnose Trump from pictures? We cannot. Is chronic venous insufficiency, if self-limiting and not representative of any other issue, relatively benign? Absolutely. We just aren't sure if we can even believe that story. So the petition that now is being circulated reads really like a warning letter, that Trump's totality of symptoms combined with his diet and obesity, it can indicate a very serious heart condition. We don't have the records. We don't know. The petition goes on to say, accurately, Trump has his finger on the nuclear button. If he is falling apart physically and mentally, we need to know. And it's coming after years of evasive cherry-picked letters that say everything's awesome and Trump-friendly doctors go, there's never been a healthier person than this guy. Notably absent from all of the reporting from the White House, Trump's medical records, et cetera, is actual data. No real cognitive testing, the Montreal Cognitive Assessment from who knows when, but that's not even really the right test for Trump. No specifics on cardiac status. And now we've got not particularly satisfying explanations for things that we are finding in pictures. So the reason this matters is, number one, the American people have been here before. We've been here before with Trump, but we've also been here before with Biden, right? If I'm completely honest with you, which is always what I am, I've now, as you know, interviewed Jonathan Allen on his book Fight. I've interviewed Jake Tapper on his book Original Sin. And my belief right now is that there was an effort to cover up decline of Joe Biden that the people around him knew about. And the reason I say that, and that doesn't mean that Tapper's book was ethically right or wrong, or the timing with the cancer diagnosis. I'm simply saying I, at this point, believe that there was an effort to cover up the true nature of Biden's health. A lot of what's described in these books I saw with my own eyes when I was at the White House and Biden delivered just holiday remarks to a relatively small group. It was very short, and he did it with a teleprompter, and it didn't sound awesome. I thought, is this normal? Is it normal when you've just got some people at the White House, you pull out a prompter? And the reporting is that it is not normal. And the reporting has been that Biden's meetings with people were sort of kept short and they were formulaic. And that's exactly how my meeting was with Biden. So, you know, of course, at the time, I had no reference for comparison. Now I do. So we've been through this. We've been through it with Trump's lack of medical transparency. We now know what was happening during the Biden administration, or, you know, even if 10% of what's been reported is true, it was still happening to a degree. And it seems to be happening again with Donald Trump. We were told Trump would be different. He was going to drain the swamp, but he filled it. We were told he was going to be transparent, but he's not being transparent. And he claimed that he's in perfect health. And, you know, he's swelling up and stumbling through bizarre speeches about the Unabomber and his dead uncle and who knows what. So I do think a few other things that are relevant to mention. In a sense, whether Trump's seriously ill or not, he shouldn't be running the country. His ideas are terrible. He doesn't respect democracy. He shouldn't be running the country either way. At the same time, do we need any possible path to getting him out? I would say, sure. And would his doctors continue saying he's in perfect health even after he's dead? Maybe they would. So I don't know that we can really go by them. Maybe the most sort of biting irony here, even though it's tragic, is that after years of Trump saying Biden's unfit, Biden's out voluntarily, and Trump's not even doing the bare minimum as president. So the bigger picture, of course, the medical records, it's not really about Trump's ankles and hands. It's about truth, accountability, and transparency that he promised. The fact that millions are watching this aging, erratic president crack daily under pressure while his administration gaslights the country with North Korea-style press releases and press conferences, it's all a disaster. And the bottom line is, when a president hides their health, lies about it, jokes about nuclear weapons in the same breath, it's terrifying, terrifying. And now people are saying, even people on the right, we've got to see that full medical record. Go Google your name right now, and you'll probably be shocked by how many sketchy websites have your address, phone number, even details about your family. Our sponsor, Incogni, is the solution. It is a service that will force data brokers and people search sites to delete your personal information so scammers, spammers, and snoops can't get their hand on it. It's also now part of their unlimited plan that you can do custom removals. You're no longer limited to just the 250 plus sites in their automated system. You can submit any link where your personal info is exposed, and Incogni's privacy experts will get it taken down, even if the site's not in their database, whether it is whitepages.com, trellis.law, DNB, or anybody else quietly publishing your information. Incogni will wipe the footprint clean. You paste the link and they do the rest. If you're tired of being tracked, profiled, targeted, this is how you push back. For instance, these sites are where scammers and spammers can get your information to then target you. Using Incogni can cut way down on the spam calls and the messages that you get. Try it risk-free for 30 days and get 60% off an annual plan when you go to incogni.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.